There's a company in this world that manages about $12.5 trillion today. $12.5 trillion. It's hard to even imagine how massive that number is, isn't it? Think about it this way. Today, the annual GDP of the United States is around $28 trillion. China's is about $17 trillion, Germany's $5 trillion, and Japan's roughly $4.3 trillion. So a single company, yes, just one company, controls more capital than the economies of Germany and Japan combined. But this story isn't just about numbers, because this money doesn't belong to a handful of billionaires. It's built from the savings of billions of ordinary people. Pension funds, stock market ETFs, insurance pools, university endowments. Chances are, even your money is circulating within this system without you even realizing it. And at the center of it all, there's one name: BlackRock. Sounds exaggerated, doesn't it? You might even think this is some kind of conspiracy theory, but this is the plain truth. Today, America's biggest banks, the world's most powerful pharmaceutical giants, and many of the largest media corporations are all part of BlackRock's vast investment network. Only the private sector, you ask? Not at all. Even governments rely on its financial models for economic guidance. Some call it the company that rules the world. But how? How did a small investment office founded by just a few people in 1988 become a global power managing trillions within only 36 years? Does BlackRock truly control the world? Let's find out together and uncover the story behind the curtain. Part 1. The Origin Story. BlackRock's story isn't as old as you might think. This company isn't an ancient bank from centuries past, nor the legacy of some royal dynasty. Everything began in 1988 in New York City. At that time, financial markets were in turmoil. Mortgage bonds were inflating like a bubble and bursting just as quickly. A single miscalculation, one wrong assessment of risk, could cause losses of billions of dollars. And in the middle of that chaos, an ambitious banker named Larry Fink emerged. Fink had personally witnessed how a single transaction at his bank led to a loss of $100 million. That experience taught him a painful lesson. Making money was important, but protecting it was just as vital. Because if risk isn't managed properly, even the most powerful institutions can fall to their knees. With that lesson in mind, Larry Fink and his small team set out to build a new kind of investment model, one that could manage portfolios more safely and more predictably. And that's how BlackRock was born. At first, it was just a few people in a modest office, but it quickly began to stand out. Because unlike other investment managers, BlackRock wasn't solely focused on growing money. For them, the real goal was to anticipate risks and safeguard billions of dollars in assets. This mindset placed BlackRock in a league of its own within the world of finance. But what exactly turned BlackRock from a small office of a few people into a global powerhouse managing trillions? Part 2. The ETF Revolution. iShares. At this point, to truly understand BlackRock's power, we need to look through another window, and that is the ETF revolution. ETFs, short for exchange-traded funds, completely transformed the world of finance. Normally, if you wanted to invest in companies like Apple, Microsoft, or Tesla, you'd have to buy each stock individually. An ETF, however, bundles all those shares together in a single package. So by purchasing just one ETF share, you're effectively investing in hundreds of companies at once. This seemingly simple system sparked a true revolution in investing. Because transaction costs were low, access was easier than ever, and most importantly, it was transparent for everyone. Investing was no longer something only big banks could do. It became something ordinary people could participate in too. BlackRock's iShares brand became the largest player in this field. They launched hundreds of different ETFs traded across dozens of global exchanges. Technology giants, green energy funds, gold and commodities. You name it, they had it. Millions of small investors, pension holders, even students became part of BlackRock's system. iShares built such an extensive network that BlackRock was no longer just managing the money of major institutions, but also directing the savings of ordinary people around the world. And that's exactly why BlackRock's network has quietly spread across the globe. Even the smallest investment somehow passes through the hands of this giant. But what about the big institutions? Why do they trust BlackRock's system? That's where Aladdin comes into play. Part 3. Aladdin, the Invisible Power. BlackRock's power doesn't just come from small investors and their ETFs. The real, invisible force lies deep within the hearts of major institutions. And that power has a name: Aladdin. Aladdin isn't the genie from a fairy tale lamp. But in the world of finance, it's almost just as magical. This platform monitors the massive portfolios of banks and funds, calculates their risks, and runs countless scenarios about the future. Just like its name suggests, it's as if a genie emerges from the lamp saying, "Your wish is my command," and lays out endless possibilities before you. And it was so effective that even the largest financial institutions in the world began trusting BlackRock's Aladdin more than their own internal systems. Because a single miscalculation of risk could mean losses of billions of dollars, and no one wanted to take that chance. Today, the total value of assets touched by Aladdin has surpassed even BlackRock's own funds. The power of this system is no longer exclusive to BlackRock. Most of the world's leading investment institutions now rely on this software platform. In other words, Aladdin has quietly become the operating system of global finance. And through that, BlackRock achieved dominance on two fronts. With ETFs, it reached ordinary people, and with Aladdin, it captured the world's largest institutions. But the company didn't stop there. It set its sights on new frontiers: real estate, infrastructure, private equity, and even energy investments. It didn't limit its portfolio to the stock market. Highways, bridges, power plants, office towers, all around the world, many of them stand because of BlackRock's funds. This move elevated the company's power to an entirely new level, because now it wasn't just managing stocks, it was shaping the very infrastructure of everyday life. And with that growing power, a single question began to echo in people's minds. Was it possible that the one truly running the world was BlackRock itself? Part 4. The Conclusion and the Invisible System. The story of BlackRock is, in fact, the story of how money moves in the 21st century. In 1988, a small team set out with one simple idea: let's calculate risk better. Today, that same structure has evolved into a global hub, where the money of governments, banks, funds, and ordinary people converges within a single network. Through ETFs, they spread capital to the masses. Through Aladdin, they brought institutional capital under control. And through infrastructure and real asset investments, they transformed money from an abstract layer of the economy into a tangible force, touching cities, energy, roads, and buildings. The picture that emerges is simple. BlackRock is not just a company that manages money. It is an actor that designs how money flows through the system. Today, most decisions in financial markets are no longer driven by individual intuition, but by the outputs of models, algorithms, and risk engines. And BlackRock's power lies precisely here. It operates within the very infrastructure that feeds those decisions. This is not a secret conspiracy. It is a story of gradual centralization. Funds wanted safer decisions. Governments wanted more accurate analysis. Markets wanted faster reactions. And eventually, everyone arrived at the same door. As a result, BlackRock does not sit above global finance as a supermanager. It sits beneath it, as the infrastructure layer that makes global finance run. That's why what we're talking about today is not merely the size of one company, but how that company became a global standard. But like every standard, this one carries a cost. Because every system that centralizes eventually becomes fragile. And in that moment of fracture, a single company's decision can ripple through billions of lives. That's why the story of BlackRock is not just about money. It's about trust, dependency, and the system itself. Today, algorithms may control the flow of money, but whoever writes those algorithms defines the direction of the world. BlackRock is the mirror of our age. And when we look into that mirror, what we see is not just a company, but the very system we built ourselves.